Well, hi, Jim and Lydia. How are y'all?
Oh, hi. We're doing fine, thanks.
Good. Well, Southway, this is Jim and Lydia Munn. Jim and Lydia, this is Southway.
Hey,
Um,
y'all.
yeah. So as we are getting ready to just have some conversation here, I wanted to start off by just asking who are the Munns? There's a lot of people in our church that might not have heard of y'all before or never seen y'all, and want to get to know you a little bit first. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, where you serve, and how long you've been there.
Okay, thanks. We're both missionary kids. I grew up in France, and we're working in France now. So, and Lydia, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Brazil. Um, my parents, in fact, had a little bit of a connection with some of the churches in South Houston, so some of the older people might have known them. But after Jim and I married, my heart was in Europe as well, and so we came to France. We have two children who are both in their mid 30s, both married, and so far one grandchild.
All right.
Our son, our son Robin is with SIL Wycliffe in Thailand. He's a computer programmer, and his wife is training to be a linguist. And our daughter and her husband live in Illinois on a farm, on a Mennonite farm, actually.
Oh,
And she spends her time with her 3-year-old and writing novels. She's a novelist.
that's exciting.
Uh,
Very cool. So
so
y'all,
we've been in France for 33, 34 years now,
okay.
involved in 2 church plants, but now we do Bible teaching mostly.
Okay, so that was my next question. As y'all are serving in France, what are the different types of ministry that y'all are involved in? So y'all doing the Bible studies, anything else?
Well, we about 13, 14 years ago, we realized we only had a certain amount of time left in France, and we wondered where we could be most effective. And after serving in 2 church plants, we took a day off and realized after prayer that we should be involved in Bible teaching. And so we taught Bible courses together and separately in the Grenoble Evening Bible School, which is an informal evening and weekend courses. And I became the director of that for about 10 years. 2 years ago, I gave it over to other people, and they made a lot of good changes. And so now it's just concentrating on Bible teaching. I teach one course in particular called The Progress of Redemption. We go through the whole Bible, showing God's plan of redemption from the beginning, what he was doing at each stage. And I'm teaching that in 3 area churches, not our own church, but 3 other churches in the southeastern part of France currently. Okay, that's part of the teaching. I also teach in home groups in the church. They ask about a certain a theological question or a Christian life question, and I go and teach them. I do that 2 or 3 times a year. Lydia, where do you teach?
We're involved in a good-sized church, good-sized France. It's about 200, 250 people maybe. We have a lot of children and young people. And so from the beginning, well, from beginning in France, but especially in this church, I've been involved in teaching, especially the junior high group. And that's something I really love to do. I love to teach, and I love that age group. But because it's a large church, I don't do all the teaching. We're a team of 4 who teach this group. And one of my roles has been to encourage new teachers and mentor them to become more competent Bible teachers.
So she's trained them. Yeah.
Yes. I've also done a lot of work with individuals. Sometimes the pastor, as he did a few months ago, asked me to take on someone who's just come to know Christ. So I've been working with Amélie now for a few months and getting to know her. And we've done some kind of follow-up Bible studies to get her well-grounded and that she understands what it meant to be a Christian, but also how to grow as a Christian.
Amazing.
And I'm doing the same thing, well, a little bit differently, but with an Algerian, a guy who's come to France with his family, former Muslim, and he loves the Lord. He's got some needs, and his wife too, that kind of isolate themselves, and I'm trying to push them a little bit to get with other Christians and to witness around them. I also do some preaching, but not a great deal. Maybe 3 times a year in our own church. We have about 10 preachers. So, and then about 3 or 4 times a year in other churches. And then there's the area of evangelism, which we don't do a lot of, but about once a week I go visit students in the dorms, university dorms, or what some of us have done is put a table near a bus stop, near the mall, and hand out free coffee and tea. And it provokes conversations, real low level. We're not
Yeah.
aggressive about it.
Sure.
So that's the kind of thing we do. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, very good. Some of what you're saying was already starting to answer my next question, but talking about this young lady that had come to know Christ, things like that, I wanted to just see what examples do y'all have of seeing God moving through your missions work?
Well, Amélie.
I can talk about a little bit about Amélie. She's in her late 20s. She was pretty much an atheist until a few years ago. So she has a lot of things that she needs to work through and understand better. But also, as I've come to know her, as is often the case, there's certain lies that you believe and that affect your life. And our study of the Bible together, I've been able to see her progress in the truth having an impact on her life. And so, and we see God answer prayer together. So that's a real joy to me.
That makes me think, Lydia was a speaker at a regional women's conference a couple of years ago, and she spoke on the lies we believe and how to deal with that. Yeah.
That's great.
We don't see spectacular results in the type of ministry we have, which is mostly Bible teaching. We don't see, but there is something spectacular I'd like to share with you.
Yes.
In 1945, after the Second World War, France had a population of about 45 million. It's today about 65 million. Among 45 million people, there were 50,000 people attending evangelical churches. That's very, very small. That's like 0.1%.
Sure.
In 2005, with a population of 60 million, 350,000 people were attending evangelical churches. That's an increase of 7 times. And today it's about 600,000, an increase of about 12 times. This is absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
It's the untold story of missions, I think. France is a tough country to do evangelism in, but French Christians are winning people to the Lord. Some of them very directly. I work with 2 French evangelists, and they just love to go out and talk to people. Others, not so much, but the way they live and love each other just is attractive to people, and it's bringing people into the church.
That's great.
So
that is amazing. Well, we appreciate y'all so much and the work that y'all are doing in France, and we want to partner with you well. So we're looking to support what y'all are doing, to partner with you in your mission. What can we specifically be praying for?
Lydia.
Well, you can pray for the people that we work with, like Amélie, but we also have a group of the older people in the church that we do activities with them once a month. We're on that committee.
We call it anti-rust.
Anti-rust group. Of them come who aren't necessarily part of the church, who at least haven't really understood the gospel. So that's one of our goals. And one of the ladies that do is called Vera, and we're pretty sure that she hasn't really understood the gospel of grace. Okay. When she ended up in the hospital after a fall, and I went to visit her, divorced husband was visiting her, and again we had an unusual opportunity to be of help to him and just have a contact with someone we might. Anyway, we would like these opportunities for God to use them and bring people to himself.
Absolutely.
We'd also like prayer that we would persevere and not tire out in the next 3 years. We plan to retire in 2020, but that's so we really want to finish strong. So thanks for praying for that.
Absolutely.
And then also, I'm looking now in February, March, April, I'll be contacting churches in 2 other areas, looking for opportunities to teach this major course, Progress to Redemption, in 2 other areas in 2018 and 2019. So I've got to work ahead to get opportunities for that. This course really helps people a great deal to put things together in the Bible reading. One student of the course said it's a good course for new believers to help them with their Bible reading in the years ahead, to give a framework. And it's a good course for older believers who have read the Bible a lot
Hmm.
and when they follow the course, things fall into place. What is God doing, and where are we now in God's plan?
Sure.
Because we're actually in Act 2 of the 3-act play that God has put into practice here. So thanks for praying for more opportunities. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking time to speak with us, and we are praying with you and very proud of everything that y'all are doing, and we are proud to be partnering with you on God's mission to build His kingdom. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your prayers and for your financial participation, your
Thank you.
partnership with us. Yeah,
Yes,
appreciate it.
absolutely. All right, thank you so much.
Bye, y'all.